So here we go. This could be the last part 6. I don't really know what I've been saying. Trying to meld it all into maybe this one here. Certainly, the last thing I said. The relevance of that in relation to 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. Even 5 years ago, I might have been doing something similar, where I'm trying to stop tobacco and alcohol, maybe not having so much emphasis on sugar, but certainly sugar has been a battle for the last 10 years, the last few years. And, often stopping one, I tend to fill the hole with other things. And I've noticed that even when I stop the sugar, alcohol, tobacco, the three major things in my life, which and smoking. Let's not say alcohol. Say alcohol is sugar for me. So those three things: smoking, sugar, and tobacco. Sorry, tobacco, sugar, and what was I saying? Well, just really bad food and so on. Processed food. So releasing certain things leaves a hole, leaves an empty feeling for a while, and that we can find other things. I've often found bread to be a great way to get stoned. Can you imagine? I could get stoned from eating too much bread. So it's that kind of place where it's a kind of a numbing down. And this is where I'd like to clear up some of the things that some of us feel like we're dealing with, when and it moves into paranoia and schizophrenia and just downright conspiratory and stuff like that. But we have to believe, right, that a big part of this is just like it's our own making, and maybe not believe in it. We need to know, and the only way of knowing this is to step out of it. Because if you continually, like I have in the past, put yourself into a box of the powers that be, and the whole thing is designed to keep us down and so on, and part of it may be true, but just to take yourself away from that completely and kind of go, I'm not buying some of it now. I'm not buying most of it. In fact, I'm saying to myself, there's nothing stopping me but myself. And the more that I put myself in that picture, and the stronger that I get, in relation to diet, exercise, sleep, and meditation. Those 4 things are important, in order to keep me in touch, keep me in touch and grounded enough to be able to kind of rise above some of this low grid frequency, which is full of paranoia, conspiratory, and schizophrenia and mental psychosis. Which then keeps us in a really low grade frequency, where we will buy into everything and anything that is purporting this kind of this is our reality. This is building this reality. So now I'm not going to take away from any of what some of that might be true or not, but like my point is that I've noticed that when my energy through a good diet and the various other things that I can do, and exercise and sleep and so on, I noticed that the diet actually affected my sleeping pattern this weekend, and maybe the little kind of bit of food that I put in just before my birthday, which was kind of a tiny little relapse, also got the juices going in my system enough for it to kind of lead to one thing, which led to another, and so on. So we have to watch that. People call it the slippery slope. I don't know, whatever. It's just to be careful, around this area, where one thing can lead to another, and so to stay focused and disciplined in that area of what it is you've set out to do, but at the same time not to be giving yourself a hard time for when you relapse or fall. Because I think the quicker you get over it, the more, the easier it is that you can catch yourself, and then you'll notice, like I have, I've found the bigger picture. I always talk about this in relation to some of the things that have happened to me in my life. That I've been the mediator, the bridge, where I like to put things out there like that. People say, "Oh, I never thought of that before," because there is always potentially the bigger picture, and if you can catch yourself in those moments, where there is a bigger picture, or you build a bigger picture, it can often lead to a gift. And then therefore that small little relapse or fall often becomes something useful, but to deny it and to give yourself a hard time and beat yourself up and berate yourself may have you leaving the whole cause altogether, and wanting to start again, or giving up, and or thinking to yourself that you've just messed up and there's no point to going on. All this kind of stuff, because it does. You come up with the feeling sometimes like, what I've just wasted all that that time. I've got to start again now, and but it's not really like that, It can feel like that, but no, I think these are just these are little things that slip into the mind in order to it's a self sabotage. In my case, I started to feel the light coming through, and this is something that I have to work on, because it happens to me a lot. I get very light in body and in mind, and literally the way I see things when my brain starts to function, and all running on all cylinders, and it's there's so many things that have happened to me in the past as to why I would turn myself inside out and just throw it all away in a moment, and go back to feeling numb again, and just return to that crap diet, or smoking or drinking, or whatever it is, and we all have a vice of some sort, that keeps us in that kind of numbing state, and like I said, a lot of us we can go around trying to blame something else, be it the establishment, or this or that or the other. And of course, there's no doubt there's some of these things are they're not there to serve us, and there's companies out there and unscrupulous characters, salesmen, and advertisement, you name it, they don't necessarily care about us, as long as we keep buying their products and so on. And there's no doubt about that. This is going on. There's a lot of people who are unconscious, who believe they're doing good, and have no idea, right, of what the cost of the environment this has. And so it goes on and on and on. But certainly, we need to move into that area of feeling, at least, that on some level we're all responsible, and that we have to find the strength and the will to be able to stand up and become a force of light and love and strength and will and warriorship, that could put us pull us out of this pit, where we're our free time then, and all this extra energy we have and strength and courage and bravery and inspiration and so on, ends up where we can put our hand down and pull people out of that pit, and live our life doing that, where it never takes any energy from us, because our cup is overflowing, and we're doing everything that we want to do, and living a good life, and experiencing beauty and joy in all the bounty of nature and so on. So this is the thing, and I think once that energy and that frequency is uplifted and changed within you, it might be that a period of time has it so that there's never going back, because we're all used to that, having a really good time for a small period of time. We might get 6 months or a year or a few months or a few weeks, even a few days often feels like heaven in that. But there certainly seems to me to be a point where things just become natural to us. In other words, there's no longer a necessity or a need to discipline yourself in that area and keep that discipline. You just wake up, you automatically do your breathing exercise. You wake up and you automatically start doing your exercises. Before you go to bed, you do something beautiful for yourself. You stop eating food too late, or whatever it is. All these things, it becomes, and you're not affected by other people around you, no matter whether they're in their house, you're in their company, or you're having to walk a particular way, or you know, you're stuck in a city and you know, you don't know the city and you don't know where the good restaurants are because you're not prepared your food or whatever. But again, you know, these are all part and parcel of them, the growing of the amount of growth that's needed to get to that place one day. So you know, it's a heaven of a journey, you know, in itself, because you know, as much as the continuance of discipline, or the kind of discipline that might be required to get to that natural place one day where it's no longer you're not thinking about it, you are it, you're acting it. But to get to that place, you have to be really careful of the people around you, because they want to bring you back to their level. And you know, they don't. A lot of people, the majority of people, they don't mean it maliciously. You know, you know, you're testing for them, because you're in company with them, and it's difficult for them to you know. On the other side, the upside of it, a lot of people get quite inspired by you holding yourself within that environment. You know, like I said, you know, within the eye of the storm. You know, 11:11 there. But you know, for me, I have to admit, you know, I thought I could be a little bit more practice whilst in the eye of the storm, and you know, but in this case, you know, I don't think I was meant to leave the house this weekend, and it cost me a few days of whatever, you know. But it's also, this is where I'm at right now in the conversation, as your radical Jack here, and you know, this, you know, the channel itself is, you know, okay, on the one hand, it's a channel like Channel 4 or Channel 3, but you know, to me, it's also a channel. I'm channeling the experience here, you know, not from some, you know, like some people, you know, who talk about channeling, you know, ancient masters or, you know, ancestors or whatever. You know, this is just my channel. My channel, my experience, and what's going on for me. You know, if you look at it as wisdom, then that's fine as well. But they say, you know, wisdom cannot be shared. You know, I cannot give wisdom to somebody. You know, wisdom can only be experienced. So if you find in your interpretation of something that there's wisdom here, you know, it's you that has the wisdom, because you're recognizing something that's within yourself that you resonate with me or another person or something. You know, something that touches you, because it means, or equals goodness, or you know, stepping towards goodness or reality in you know, truth, light, or whatever. You know, this is it. But that comes from you. You know, it doesn't come from me. It's just a license, maybe a resonance. You know, or you know, something like that. You know, I think that you know. And that's who we are, you know. We're all here for each other, you know, to build these bridges, and you know, this is our reality, you know. We have this full pure potentiality to take ourselves out of this pit, and break the spell, because you know, whether it's conspiracy or fact or whatever the case may be, you know, there's nothing really truly has a hold on you unless you allow it. So you know, even on some level, the job has a hold on you. You're not such a nice relationship, you know, either male or female. You know, the person has a hold on you, even though you both know you should split or leave. Whatever it is, these things, you know. But you know, these things have a hold on us, all right. Yeah, but the choice is still with us, you know, as to which way we want to go, you know. And so you know. The very thing that we want or wish for, stuff like that, is maybe the very things that you or I have the opportunity to replace this, you know, this system and this systematic way of being, into a more harmonious, environmental, self-reliant, sustainable, you know, all these kinds of things, you know, way of living, you know. And going back to the bare necessities and simplicity of life, you know. So here we go. I think this is number 6. This is going to go, and I hope that brings us up to date. I'm still on it. I'm still radical Jack in it, and you know, this is just the beginning for me. You know, 55 days to the new moon, and I'm like, this is an 8 year.